Hello and welcome to this week's feature in our ongoing Beyond the Bay virtual film series. My name is Kevin Maher and I'm a member of the programming committee for the Bay Theater in Suttons Bay, Michigan. This week I will be introducing Singin' in the Rain, produced by MGM in 1952 and starring Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, Donald O'Connor, and Gene Hagen. The film was co-directed by Stanley Donen and Gene Kelly and is almost uniformly considered the best movie musical of all time. Released in the golden era of Hollywood musicals, the film wasn't a big hit when it was released, overshadowed as it was by Vincent Minnelli's An American in Paris, also starring Gene Kelly, and released 5 months before. Just as Singin' in the Rain was going into general release, An American in Paris was re-released back into the marketplace to take advantage of its Best Picture Oscar win, taking with it valuable resources and attention from Singin' in the Rain. A comedic story about the transition from silent pictures to sound in 1927, Singin' in the Rain has been called a musical for people who don't like musicals, due to its perfectly executed combination of comedy, romance, music, and dance. Its joyous lampooning of all things Hollywood is at the core of its brilliance, because from the outset it's clear that no one element will overwhelm the others, nor will the film take itself too seriously. When the film opens, Gene Kelly's Don Lockhart, the greatest of the silent film stars, is rehashing his prepackaged life story at a Hollywood premiere, extolling the virtues of dignity while a montage of ridiculous images flash across the screen, undermining his pomposity. Immediately it's clear that screenwriters Betty Comden and Adolph Green are willing to bite the hand that feeds them as they take Hollywood's self-absorption down a peg or two, for comedic purposes only, of course. It's this manufactured outer truth that Hollywood had and has always put out into the world, undermined by the reality of struggle, self-abasement, and sacrifice that immediately endears the audience. Don is a stuffed shirt, but we as the film-going audience love him for his grandeur. The film itself is widely recognized for two of its signature musical numbers: the iconic title track, where Kelly joyfully dances on a deserted and rain-drenched street, and the otherworldly Broadway ballet sequence between Kelly and Sid Charisse. The two sequences could not be more different, but they help to balance the film in a way few musicals before had attempted. Kelly's Don expresses his inward emotions in a completely silly and outwardly physical way that is as memorable as it is uplifting. Film historian Janine Bassinger, writing in the Atlantic magazine as late as 2019, points to the script that uses just 6 words to outline what has become the quintessential movie musical sequence. Don dances wet in the street. It perfectly captures the simple genius of movie making because it's Kelly's carefully choreographed and shot song and dance sequence that lifts the viewer organically by his sheer exuberance. Kelly was at the peak of his career as an actor, dancer, singer, choreographer, and director, which makes the sequence appear effortless and spontaneous, but just as movie magic can make houses fly and planets explode, the scene was anything but simple, taking 6 days to rehearse, 3 days to shoot, and it had to be timed perfectly so as not to affect the water pressure in Culver City, California, as they dumped thousands of gallons of water on the 2-block-long set. The Broadway ballet dance, the 13-minute sequence between Kelly and a mysterious vamp-like dancer played by Sid Charisse, is truly the showstopper in the film. Kelly called the sequence Cinedance because he and Donen could use camera movement to enhance the dancing space and provide an emotional attachment to the dancers that was not possible in a traditional theater setting. The sequence, which has been described as a purposefully designed kaleidoscope of show business cliches, cost nearly a quarter of the final cost of the film, entailed more than 50 separate camera setups, airplane motors, and a 50-foot-long veil. But the result is a seamlessly beautiful sequence that captures the elegance and physicality of Kelly's dancing style. While no part of the Broadway ballet, Debbie Reynolds was an integral part to the film's story. She was only 19 when the film went into production, wasn't trained as a singer or as a dancer, and had very little film experience. But her naive exuberance underscores the story of the transition within the film industry and fully places the story in a safer and more innocent era than the film's release date. Her character and her performance represent the roaring 20s carefree yet determined attitude, a far cry from the post-war darkness that Hollywood had fallen into by the late 40s and early 50s. This separation in time also helps eliminate the cynical nature of lampooning a bygone era, and the exponential growth in the quality in movie making reinforces the naivete of filmmakers introducing sound into the movies. Singin' in the Rain is made safe by this distinction, and Reynolds' performance is the main reason why. The joyous nature of the film is evident in every scene, because it is a love letter to Hollywood movie making. A satire, but only in the sense of poking fun at family. What gives me particular pleasure in watching Singin' in the Rain again and again are the too numerous to count Hollywood references, both obvious and less so. Just as the songs, 12 of which were recycled from earlier films, beget former movie performances or ideas, the scenery, the costumes, and the props all harken back to Hollywood's glorious past. As we look at the 40s and 50s as the golden age of Hollywood, viewers of that era looked back at the late silent and early sound era as a time of great creativity and growth. Singin' in the Rain is the perfect bridge between all three eras because it celebrates the magic that continues to enthrall moviegoers today. Please join us on Tuesday, January 12th at 7:30 Eastern for a live Q&A discussion of Singin' in the Rain. Go to our website, thebaytheater.com, for a direct link, or go to our YouTube page for a reminder. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page as well, and click the red bell for reminders and notifications of new postings. Thanks for watching, and please enjoy the film.